Welcome back to News and Commentary to Chew. We'll start today's show with a new segment that I call Label Logic. I would really like all of you out there in TV land to start looking at the labels of the food that you buy. Sometimes there are things in there that are not so good for you. Anyway, the October issue of Consumer Reports warns that benzene, a carcinogen, that means it can cause cancer, can form in soft drinks that contain both ascorbic acid, that's vitamin C, and sodium benzoate. Yeah, so what to do? 1, read the ingredient labels and avoid those soft drinks. Don't buy those soft drinks that have those two things in it. And 2, if you do buy those beverages, with that combination, be sure to store them in a cool, dark location, since heat and direct light can increase the formation of that benzene. Now, after the last show, I've had more questions about allergies. And here's something from the American College of Asthma, Allergy, and Immunology. They recommend that babies should be breastfed only for the first 6 months of their lives. This natural method of feeding your baby will reduce asthma, allergies, and eczema. It's perfectly natural. 6 months, nothing else, just mother's milk. And of course, the biggest food safety story is the E. coli outbreak from fresh spinach. According to the CDC, as of October 6th, 199 people have gotten sick in 26 different states, and 3 people have died. And now there's been 4 cases of botulism caused by improperly refrigerated carrot juice. This was carrot juice that was produced in California again by Bolt House Farms. They have done a recall on that. And speaking of botulism and E. coli, I met one of my fans at Long's in Kaneohe, a very nice lady, who asked me, what is the difference between botulism and E. coli? Well, actually, they're both bacteria, and botulism is what you get from a bacteria called Clostridium botulinum. The E. coli is found generally in the intestinal tract of cattle. So it ends up out in the fields and the farms. Sometimes in wild animals, deer and wild game will have it. And the Clostridium botulinum, that is a spore-forming bacteria that is found in the soil. So that's why it was on those carrots. And that carrot juice that was implicated in the botulism outbreak was not pasteurized. See, this is the key. If you cook these bacteria, they die, and then you won't get sick from it. And the news wouldn't be complete without your daily bug allowance. Right here in Honolulu, a woman and her son found that their breakfast cereal was crawling with worms. Since the worms were not listed on the ingredients label, and there were clearly more worms than the FDA allows, the woman returned them. As a result of her returning those to the store in Honolulu, there has been a nationwide recall of all Alber's brand quick grits. And since this is Hawaii, you may be asking, what in the world is a grit? So I called a chef colleague friend of mine, Bob, in North Carolina, to ask him. Well, everybody knows that it's ground hominy. And that's the way it is. So the same rules apply as far as temperature is concerned for your hot food, except it's at the hot end. The hot food is supposed to be 135 degrees or hotter. If you take the surface temperature, you can see, look, that's 128. Now, that's pretty hot, and if it's served within 4 hours, it's fine. It's fine to serve this food. However, if you go to the bottom of the food and take the temperature, look at that, 153 degrees. This is clearly where you want to be serving yourself, from the hottest part of the hot food. And now I have a few more tips for buffets, the first of which have to do with Sunday brunches. The first thing that I look at a Sunday brunch is, and this is one of my favorite things to eat, and that's the hash. I really like the hash. And no, I'm not talking about the hash that the cooks are smoking in the walk-in. I'm talking about the ground up beef. Well, where do you think they got that beef? Those are all the scraps of meat that couldn't be used throughout the week. And they're ground up and they've put good spice in it, and I love it, and everybody else loves it. The thing is, the restaurants have to make sure that they're handling that beef right, which means keeping it cold the whole week. And it's perfectly okay to keep it for a whole week. You keep it for 7 days. So anyway, make sure that when you go to get your hash, you're pulling from the bottom. It's nice and hot. Then of course, I'm always concerned about the seafood and cream sauce. I don't eat the seafood and cream sauce. Now there's another thing that people do, and this is people doing it to themselves. And that has to do with all-you-can-eat buffets. Some people think that all-you-can-eat buffets means all-you-can-carry-home buffets. This is not what they're about. You can carry it home, it's just got to be in your stomach, not in your backpack, not in your purse. And you know who you are out there. You shouldn't be doing this. You are setting yourself up for some serious foodborne illnesses because those purses and backpacks, they're not refrigerated. You are time and temperature abusing this food, and it is a ticking time bomb. So don't do that.
It's time for What in the Hell is That?
And now for this week's What in the Hell is That? I got an email from Molly, who works at a buffet-style restaurant in San Diego. She wrote to tell me that as she was cleaning up the salad bar at the end of the shift, she noticed a lump in the bottom of the ranch dressing container. It turns out it was a mouse, a whole mouse at the bottom of the ranch dressing. This is disgusting. And then I got another email from Camilla from South Kona. She tells me that she found a bread bag twist tie pretending to be a strand of Parmesan cheese in her Caesar salad. Well, Camilla, that's pretty awful, but it's not going to compare with a mouse. Well, I guess you know who wins this round of What in the Hell is That?
That was What in the Hell is That? The score is the Mainland 2, Hawaii 1.
Here we are at Kaikena Dining Room at Kapiolani Community College. Occasionally we'll have buffets in our dining room, and here are some pictures of our buffets. This type of buffet that we have here is always self-service. This means that the customers are going to come and choose what they want out of the line. Now, it's that type of service on a buffet line that at the end of the night, if there's any food left on that line, it's supposed to be disposed of. Now, it doesn't mean you have to throw it away. You can always give it to Aloha Harvest, and you can call them at 537-6945. Or you can reach them on the web at alohaharvest.org. So the problem is that most restaurants don't discard the food. They save it over. So what can you do? My best suggestion is to ask the restaurant if they discard the food at the end of the night. They may not tell you. But what's the next best thing? When you go to a lunch buffet, don't be the first one there. Wait an hour or two until the fresh food that was just made that day is put out. Then you know you're getting food that hasn't been left over all night. If you want to come and have a great buffet where the food is fresh, we're not saving it over from the next day because we have a lot of hungry students at the end of the day. You can call 734-9499 to make reservations either for dinner or for one of our buffets at Kapiolani Community College in the Kaikena Dining Room.